It's the quiet dangers that often do the most damage, the ones we dismiss, the ones wrapped in nostalgia and routine. For millions of seniors, that danger pours slowly into a wine glass, clinks casually in a whiskey tumbler, or fizzes gently in a bottle of light beer. It's alcohol, once a symbol of connection, relaxation, and celebration, that becomes with age a silent accomplice to decline. Let's be blunt. What you used to handle with ease at 40 or 50 an after-dinner drink, a cocktail with friends, is no longer as innocent past the age of 65. In fact, it could be undermining your health in ways you don't even notice until it's too late. What starts as disrupted sleep or a vague fogginess can quietly evolve into memory loss, chronic inflammation, heart irregularities, or even dangerous falls that rob you of independence in an instant. What makes alcohol particularly deceptive is that its effects change not only in intensity, but in kind as we age. A drink that once soothed the nerves can now destabilize your balance. A light beer that once complemented Sunday football might now inflame your joints or trigger midnight bathroom trips that lead to accidents. And worst of all, these shifts are rarely obvious. They creep in quietly, disguised as normal aging. This article is your warning, your wake-up call. But it's also your guide, because you don't have to choose between joy and safety, between social connection and clarity of mind. There are healthier paths forward, better alternatives that still let you raise a glass, but without compromising your heart, brain, or balance. Let's look at the 4 types of alcohol every senior should think twice before drinking again, and 4 smarter, safer options that honor both your age and your vitality. 1. Hard liquor, a concentrated threat to aging bodies. Let's begin with the most obvious yet dangerously underestimated hard liquor: whiskey, vodka, rum, gin. These spirits are often associated with elegance or tradition. For many older adults, a nightcap of bourbon or scotch has been a ritual for decades, a comforting punctuation to the day. But here's the hard truth. After 65, your liver, once a powerful filter, slows down. It no longer processes alcohol with the same efficiency. That means a shot of vodka you used to tolerate in your 40s now stays in your system longer, reaching your brain and bloodstream more intensely than before. Combine that with reduced muscle mass and increased sensitivity in your central nervous system, and you have a recipe for rapid intoxication, even with small amounts. The consequences are more than a flushed face or a headache the next morning. Liquor's fast-acting effects can drop your blood pressure, impair your reflexes, and drastically increase your risk of falls. These aren't rare incidents. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, falls are the leading cause of fatal and non-fatal injuries among older adults in the United States. And many of these falls occur at night, in the bathroom, on the stairs, places where a moment of dizziness or instability becomes catastrophic. Take the case of Mr. Larson, a 74-year-old retired accountant from Ohio. For years, he had 1 or 2 glasses of whiskey each night before bed. After a recent dosage change in his blood pressure medication, he experienced a sudden dizzy spell after his usual drink. He lost consciousness and fell in his kitchen, resulting in a fractured femur and a prolonged hospital stay. His doctors confirmed that the interaction between medication and alcohol was a major contributing factor, something he'd never been warned about. And this is not uncommon. Hard liquor also intensifies dehydration, aggravates constipation, and can impair the function of the kidneys and heart, both of which are already under natural age-related strain. Moreover, it interferes with dozens of common medications, including sedatives, antidepressants, pain relievers, and antihypertensives. What might have once felt like a well-earned indulgence has for many seniors become a dangerous exchange, momentary calm, traded for long-term risk. 2. Sweet wines and wine coolers. A sugar-coated sabotage. Next on the list are those deceptively pleasant sips dessert, wines-flavored wine coolers, or inexpensive Moscato. These drinks are often marketed as light, enjoyable, and gentle. Their fruity aromas and smooth finishes give a false impression of safety, especially for those who assume they're choosing a lower-risk option. In reality, they can be even more insidious. Most commercially available sweet wines are not only high in alcohol, but loaded with added sugars, flavorings, and sulfites. These substances are especially problematic for aging bodies. The high sugar content in these beverages leads to rapid spikes in blood glucose, a serious concern for seniors with diabetes or prediabetes. According to the American Diabetes Association, nearly 25% of Americans over the age of 65 are living with diabetes, and a large portion of the rest are insulin-resistant or undiagnosed. A single glass of dessert wine can raise blood sugar levels to dangerous heights, setting off a chain reaction of fatigued brain, fog-blurred vision, and over time, peripheral nerve damage and retinal degeneration. But sugar isn't the only villain. Sulfites, used to preserve wine and extend shelf life, can trigger inflammatory responses, especially in individuals with asthma or reduced respiratory capacity. Many seniors experience side effects like headaches, skin flushing, joint pain, or even shortness of breath after drinking wine without realizing the cause. Take Maria, a 78-year-old grandmother from Arizona. She enjoyed the occasional sweet white wine in the evenings, especially during family gatherings. But over the years, she began experiencing persistent acid reflux and unexplained bloating. After consulting a gastroenterologist, she learned that her choice of beverage high in sugar and acidity was eroding her gut lining and aggravating digestive inflammation. She replaced her wine with herbal teas and later kombucha, and saw a notable improvement in her symptoms within 2 months. The acidity in sweet wines also accelerates enamel erosion and worsens symptoms of GERD, both common in seniors. And because these drinks are so palatable, they're often consumed in larger quantities in dry wines or spirits, further compounding the damage. The truth that fruity wine cooler might seem lighthearted, but for an older body, it's a metabolic storm. Sugar, alcohol, preservatives, and acid all working against your system. 3. Beer and light beer. A familiar drink with hidden consequences. Beer, especially light beer, holds a special place in many people's lives. It represents camaraderie, sports nights, casual meals, and summer afternoons. Its low alcohol content and mass popularity often lead people to assume it's a safer choice for seniors. Unfortunately, that assumption is deeply flawed. Beer is not as light as it seems, particularly in how it interacts with an aging metabolism. For starters, it contains a significant amount of simple carbohydrates and refined starches that break down quickly into glucose. For the almost 50% of seniors classified as pre-diabetic, this means beer can act like a sugar bomb, causing blood sugar levels to spike and crash, which in turn leads to mood fluctuations, cravings, and fatigue. Even more concerning is beer's purine content. Purines are natural compounds that metabolize into uric acid. In younger individuals, the kidneys can efficiently excrete this acid. But in older adults, especially those with reduced kidney function, uric acid builds up, accumulating in joints and triggering gout attacks. Gout, once considered rare, is increasingly prevalent among seniors and often misdiagnosed as general arthritis or swelling. Mr. Feldman, age 69, thought his weekly beers were harmless, but after months of dealing with excruciating pain in his big toe and ankle, he was diagnosed with gout. His physician traced the flare-ups back to his beer consumption, which he had believed was safer than wine or cocktails. Eliminating beer from his diet alongside dietary changes brought his uric acid levels back under control. There's more. Beer is a natural diuretic, which leads to increased urination. For older adults already dealing with nocturia, waking at night to urinate, prostate issues, or overactive bladder, this exacerbates an already challenging issue. The result: disturbed sleep, dehydration, and a greater chance of nighttime falls during bathroom trips. Despite its friendly image, beer is a complex disruptor. It affects blood sugar, joint health, sleep cycles, and hydration, all critical areas of wellness that older adults must actively protect. 4. Cocktails and mixed drinks. A disguised double threat. Among the most deceptively dangerous drinks for seniors are cocktails and mixed beverages. They are festive, elegant, and often appear harmless, especially those garnished with fruit, herbs, or served in small glasses. But beneath their colorful presentation lies a volatile blend of sugar, alcohol, and chemical additives that can take a serious toll on an aging body. Unlike straight liquor, cocktails dilute the taste of alcohol with fruit juices, syrups, carbonated drinks, and cream-based liqueurs. The sweetness masks the alcohol's presence, making it easy to drink more than intended. This illusion of mildness is especially dangerous for seniors whose tolerance and metabolic processing have changed significantly over the years. The combination of high alcohol and high sugar in cocktails delivers a compounded burden. Sugar causes blood glucose to rise rapidly, which is particularly hazardous for individuals managing diabetes or insulin resistance. At the same time, the alcohol dulls cognitive function and impairs motor coordination, sometimes without immediate warning. The delayed onset of these effects can lead to overdrinking, disorientation, or increased risk of medication interactions. Many seniors are prescribed medications for sleep, mood, heart conditions, or blood pressure. Even a moderate cocktail can interact with these drugs, causing symptoms ranging from dizziness and irregular heartbeat to confusion, difficulty breathing, or even unconsciousness. These are not isolated incidents. Emergency room visits related to alcohol medication interactions among older adults have risen sharply over the last decade. Consider the experience of Lorraine, a 76-year-old who regularly enjoyed mixed drinks at her weekly bridge club. After switching antidepressant medications, she began experiencing heart palpitations and sudden anxiety episodes, both of which were eventually traced to the interaction between her new prescription and the 2 margaritas she consumed during social outings. The effects were cumulative, and the consequences were nearly tragic. Beyond the physical dangers, cocktails can wreak havoc on sleep. Though alcohol may initially seem sedating, it disrupts REM cycles and increases nighttime awakenings. For older adults who already struggle with sleep continuity or experience age-related insomnia, this makes recovery and mental clarity even more difficult the following day. Artificial colors, preservatives, and flavorings found in many commercially prepared mixers only worsen the situation. These additives have been linked to inflammation, digestive upset, and allergic reactions, all of which compound the stress placed on aging organs. In short, cocktails are a dangerous masquerade. They promise connection and comfort, but often deliver disorientation, inflammation, and regret. Smarter, safer alternatives that still let you celebrate. Fortunately, aging well does not mean eliminating joy. It means redefining joy in a way that supports rather than sabotages your long-term health. The following alternatives preserve the ritual of a drink while protecting your balanced cognition, digestion, and sleep. 1. Moderate red wine. A heart-conscious choice. Red wine, when consumed thoughtfully and sparingly, offers one of the few alcohol-containing options that may provide measurable benefits for older adults. The key is not the wine itself, but the presence of resveratrol, a polyphenol found in the skin of red grapes. Numerous studies, including those published in the Journal of Gerontology and Harvard Medical School, have linked moderate red wine intake to improve blood vessel function, reduced oxidative stress, and even enhanced memory retention. Resveratrol may also help slow cognitive aging by increasing cerebral blood flow and reducing inflammatory markers in the brain. But moderation is critical. Experts that define this as no more than 1 5-ounce glass, 3 to 4 times per week. Beyond that, the risks begin to outweigh the benefits. Overconsumption can lead to liver strain, sleep disruption, and elevated blood pressure, especially when consumed without food. To maximize the benefits, choose organic low-sulfite varieties. Drinking red wine with meals, particularly those containing healthy fats like olive oil or omega-3 rich fish, slows alcohol absorption and protects the gut lining. Used wisely, red wine can become a ritual of balance, offering both flavor and physiological support for the aging body. 2. Low ABV Spritzers, celebration without the crash. If you enjoy the taste and feel of wine but want to reduce alcohol content, Spritzers are an elegant compromise. Created by combining a modest pour of wine with sparkling water or club soda, these beverages offer hydration, flavor, and festivity, all with significantly reduced alcohol volume. Spritzers are not just about dilution, they promote mindful drinking. The light carbonation encourages slower sips, while the volume of liquid satisfies the senses without overloading the liver or nervous system. This makes them ideal for social situations where you want to be part of the moment without risking foggy thinking or balance issues later in the evening. Adding a slice of citrus, a sprig of mint, or a few berries can further enhance the drink's appeal, providing not only aesthetic charm, but small doses of antioxidants and vitamin C. For those with reduced alcohol tolerance or anyone taking medications that amplify alcohol's effects, Spritzers offer the gift of moderation without compromise. 3. Kombucha, the digestive ally. For those seeking a completely alcohol-free option with genuine health benefits, kombucha stands out. This fermented tea beverage contains live probiotic cultures, B vitamins, and organic acids that support gut health, a foundational component of wellness for older adults. As we age, our digestive efficiency naturally declines. This affects nutrient absorption, energy levels, and even cognitive function due to the gut-brain connection. Kombucha helps restore microbial balance in the intestines, which can reduce bloating, support immune function, and elevate mood. Low sugar or alcohol-free kombucha varieties are now widely available, and their naturally tangy fizz makes them a satisfying substitute for soda, beer, or even wine. Poured into a glass, chilled and sipped slowly, kombucha delivers not just refreshment, but a subtle sense of vitality. For seniors managing digestive disorders, fatigue, or low immunity, kombucha is not just a drink. It's a daily ritual of restoration. 4. Herbal adaptogen mocktails, calm, clarity, and connection. Finally, for those looking to replicate the mood-lifting effects of alcohol without the drawbacks, adaptogen-infused mocktails provide a sophisticated solution. Adaptogens are plant-based compounds such as ashwagandha, holy basil, lemon balm, and rhodiola that help the body regulate stress hormones and restore equilibrium. These herbal blends can be combined with sparkling water, fresh citrus, mint, or berries to create drinks that are as beautiful and festive as any cocktail without any of the harmful effects. What sets these mocktails apart is their ability to enhance well-being. They support mental focus, stabilize mood, and calm the nervous system, ideal for seniors navigating daily stress, sleep disturbances, or medication-induced fatigue. Herbal mocktails are especially beneficial for those who are on complex medication regimens or who want to avoid the risks of alcohol altogether. They offer an inclusive experience, allowing seniors to raise a glass, stay social, and feel good about what they're putting into their bodies. Conclusion: the true meaning of a toast. There comes a point in life when joy must become intentional, when comfort must align with clarity, when the things we once did out of habit require reevaluation, not out of fear, but out of wisdom. Alcohol, for many older adults, becomes a crossroads. Keep walking the old path, and it may lead to fractured bones, restless nights, unstable blood pressure, and an invisible erosion of memory and energy. But turn even slightly, choose a different drink, a lighter option, a mindful replacement, and the rewards can be profound. What you gain is not only safety, but presence. Clear mornings, steady hands, stronger bones, a sharper mind, and above all, the ability to continue enjoying the moments that matter most, whether it's dinner with family, time with grandchildren, or quiet conversations on the porch. You've earned the right to celebrate life, but now your body asks you to celebrate with intention. That is not a restriction, it's a revelation. Because when you trade harmful habits for nourishing ones, when you lift a glass that supports instead of harms, you're not losing freedom, you're gaining it. So consider this your invitation, not to give something up, but to upgrade, to choose with your years of experience, your accumulated wisdom, and your hope for the future. Choose to protect your body, your clarity, your independence, and the relationships that matter most. If this article spoke to you, take one more step toward living with strength and intention. Like and subscribe to the Longevity Secret channel, where we empower seniors to live not just longer, but better. Your next chapter deserves clarity, energy, and joy, and we're here to help you write it.